Welcome, everybody, to Jacob's Bunker, where every week we meet our intrepid hero deep beneath the Earth's surface.
Yeah,
Comes up for air and light.
yeah.
Here we have our star, Jacob.
Thanks, Rabbi.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. How's it
Uh-huh.
feel to talk to a human being again?
Um, it's one of the best feelings ever, Rabbi.
Okay, here we go. So that's in chapter 39, verse 1. You want to read?
Yeah.
In the book of Genesis. Go ahead.
Joseph had been brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's Egyptian officers, the captain of the guard, had purchased him from the Arabs who had brought him there. God was with Joseph, and he made him very successful. Soon he was working in his master's own house. His master realized that God was with Joseph and that God granted success to everything he did. Joseph gained favor with his master, and before long he was appointed as his master's personal servant. His master placed him in charge of his household, giving him responsibility for everything he owned. As soon as his master had placed him in charge of his household and possessions, um, God blessed the Egyptian because of Joseph. God's blessing was in all the Egyptian had, both in the house and on the field. His master left all his affairs in Joseph's hands, except for the food he himself ate. He did not concern himself with anything Joseph did. Meanwhile, Joseph grew to be well built and handsome. In the course of time, his master's wife cast her eyes on Joseph. "Sleep with me," she said. He had madly
Adamant.
refused.
Adamant.
Adamantly refused. Sorry, Rabbi. So long being down here, I've even forgot my English language. Um, he reasoned with his master's wife. "My master does not know what I do in the house. He has entrusted me with everything he owns. No one in this house has more power than I have. He has not kept back anything at all from me, except you, his wife. How could I do such a great wrong? It would be a sin before God." She spoke to Joseph every day, but he would not pay attention to her. He would not even lie next to her or spend time with her.
Okay, now
Once,
let me ask you a question, okay? Which,
uh-huh,
which one is worse, to be a sin against God or to a sin against man?
sin against man.
Sin against man? That's interesting. I would have said sin against God, but I'll accept your answer.
Oh dear.
But you see, which one is keeping Joseph clean and
The sin against God.
sin against God? But he doesn't say that to her. The order in
Why?
which he says it to her is it would be a sin against man. And then adds on the end, it would be a sin against God. You see that?
Yeah, you're right.
Because you got to know your audience. She didn't care about God, at least not very much.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's very
He was
true.
talking to her and telling her, listen, this is not right what you're doing to your husband.
Yeah,
Right? So you got to know who your audience is. Okay,
it's
keep going.
true.
Keep going.
Uh, one such day, Joseph came to their house to do his work. None of the household staff was inside. The woman grabbed him by his cloak. "Sleep with me," she pleaded. He ran away from her, leaving his cloak in her hand. He fled outside. When she realized that he had left his cloak in her hand and fled outside, she called her household servants. "See," she said, "he brought us a Hebrew man to play games with us. He came to, oh, to rape me, but I screamed as loud as I could. When he heard me scream and call for help, he ran outside and left his cloak with me. She kept Joseph's cloak with her until his master came home, and she told him the same story. The Hebrew slave that you brought us, how I came to play games with me. When I screamed and called for help, he fled outside, leaving his cloak with me. This is one very stupid woman.
Why?
This doesn't make sense. Why is she gonna do this? If she really wants Joseph, this is like, why would she want him now put in jail?
Because she's jealous. She's like mad. He embarrassed her. Is that he doesn't want anything to do with her.
Oh, I see.
Nothing against women per se, but I think it probably goes with men as well. But the idea that someone doesn't want me is very debilitating.
That's true. That's very true.
Okay, so she's bad. As Shakespeare said, hell have no fury like a woman's wrath.
Oh, oh dear. Okay.
I don't know if it's true with men, but King Solomon said that a king's wrath is really takes the ticket. But I haven't had. I can't speak from personal experience about a king's wrath. Okay, but keep going. So she screamed. I told the husband the story. Okay, keep going.
When her husband heard his wife's story and her description of the incident, he became furious. Joseph's master had him arrested and placed him in the dungeon where the king's prisoners were kept. He was to remain in that dungeon. God was with Joseph, and he showed him kindness, making him find favor in the warden of the dungeon.
Okay,
Soon,
okay, hang on a sec. Okay, so we're gonna play a little bit of Sherlock Holmes here.
oh
Okay,
no, oh no. Okay.
Be prepared.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
So you see now, you probably read stories, Uncle Tom's Cabin and other books about what slavery was like in America.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too nice.
Not too nice, right? Now, what would have happened to a black guy, who was accused of trying to rape the master's wife? What would have happened to such a guy?
Actually, there was something that happened in the 60s where a black man whistled at a white woman and they killed him. So I'm going to go with that.
Right, that was in the 60s, long after slavery ended in America. Like, could you imagine what he would do with a guy who they accused him of slavery in the heart of slavery? Like, you're in Alabama or wherever,
Sweet home
Mississippi,
Alabama. Yeah.
right? And they accused him of right. She accuses this guy of trying to rape her.
Kill her. They kill him.
They kill him. Right now, that's in America in the 21st, in other words, the 19th century, right? The 1960s, the 20th century. You imagine Egypt 4,000 years ago, right? The right, what rights do you think a slave had?
Yeah, nothing.
So you see, why does he throw him in prison? What should they have done with him?
Killed him.
Kill him. So why did they kill him?
They wanted to make him suffer.
Really? That's what they throw him in prison for?
I mean, that doesn't really make sense considering that the Egyptians were barbarians. They were very barbaric.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. But any time in history, right? You don't have to go all the way back then, right? How come they threw him in prison? You're going to appreciate
because
that.
God was with him, and they didn't want to kill him because God was with him.
Oh, now you're getting warm. You see, in the ancient world, they really didn't have prisons.
Oh, they had holes.
No, they had prisons, but they were places for like for people you couldn't kill or couldn't pay taxes or couldn't some sort of corporal punishment. But you didn't have prisons like you have today, right?
Okay.
The society didn't pay for prisons. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They were unique places for people who you just couldn't kill, as we're going to see with the butler and the baker. Right? They couldn't kill them. So what do we do with these guys? Okay, so they had a prison, right? It was a special place, the king's prison. I don't know whether there were other prisons, but they were a special place of people you just couldn't kill on the spot, or you had to think about what you were going to do with them. They're more like dungeons, whatever they were. They weren't great places, obviously. So why are they sending Joseph to a prison? Like, why are they killing him? Because he said, right, they saw the gold was with him. Right, you follow?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got something right.
Okay, but he tried to rape this guy's wife.
Yeah, well, what would you rather, letting a guy just be in prison or have God's wrath smite an entire nation?
So you see, you're reading the verse wrong. Let's
Oh
go
my,
back a little bit.
oh no.
Oh no. Look at verse 19.
Oh no. Verse 19. Okay.
Right? Read it again.
When her husband heard of his wife's story and her description of the incident, he became furious.
He became furious with who?
His wife.
His wife. Not Joseph.
Ding, ding, ding.
Why did he get furious with his wife?
Well, because I think he knew.
He knew, exactly.
I don't think Potiphar was that big of an idiot,
He
but
wasn't that big of an idiot, 100%. He knew what his wife was up to.
well, then why did they throw him in jail?
Oh, okay, that's a very good question. So first of all, why was he furious at his wife?
For trying to cheat on him.
No.
For
You knew what she
hiring
was up to. This is not an unusual circumstance.
because she was trying to cheat on him.
I'll tell you something very interesting. So there's a great midrash, a very interesting midrash on this. She used to tell all her friends about how beautiful Joseph was. You heard of this?
Yep.
Right? And so all her friends said, "What are you going so crazy over Joseph for? There's lots of, you can go with anybody." So she said, "I'll show you." So she had them all come over for a tea party, and she gave them apples, right,
cut
with knives to cut the peel off. And while they were in the middle of cutting the peel, she had Joseph come in, and they're so enamored by him, they all cut their fingers.
Oh, that's I heard that story. That's actually kind of funny.
Right, that's how beautiful, stunning Joseph was. Right, you and me have the same problem, right, Jacob?
What?
We're so stunning.
Yeah. I mean, what do you mean? I think you're more stunning than I am.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, I think so. You're more stunning in the holy wise. I don't know about me.
I don't know about that either.
Oh my gosh, Rabbi.
You're getting better looking in the bunker. The bunker's wearing good on you.
Yes, the bunker is doing well on me.
So anyway, so Potiphar, the husband, he's furious. Why? Because Joseph is his golden goose. You know the golden goose, the goose that lays the golden egg?
Yep.
Everything Joseph touches turns to gold. He's making him incredibly successful and wealthy, and everything's working. And what does she go and do? She messes the whole thing up. So who is he furious at? Her. Right?
Yeah.
So what is he furious about? He knows Joseph didn't do it. So what is he furious about?
He's furious that she ruined everything.
Yes, but why did she ruin everything? He didn't do it. Joseph didn't do it.
Oh no.
Because she made it so public.
Oh. Yeah.
She said, front page of the New York Times. She sent out tweets and TikToks and things like that. It was on her Instagram feed. I was just raped by the Hebrew slave, blah, 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 attempted rape. Thank God I screamed. Everybody knew it was, the people at the inner circle knew it was fake. But he was furious because he couldn't ignore it. What is he going to do? In front of everybody, tell everybody his wife is a liar? Couldn't do that.
Yeah, well, like, so he puts him in jail.
So he's got to do something. He can't
Yeah.
let him go. He can't kill him, and he can't keep him. What's he going to do? Okay, so the best he could do is put him in jail.
Oh my gosh, I guess.
Now the Midrash says that she actually knew that she was going to have children through Joseph.
Well, but she didn't.
She didn't, but who did?
Someone else, Dina's daughter.
Dina's daughter, very good. But that was the Midrash says it was Dina's daughter, but it was also the daughter that they raised. See, you skip on a little ahead. We'll read this more next week. But look at go to chapter 41. 41:45. See it?
Yeah. 40 Meek hates.
Yeah. Pharaoh gave Joseph the name when Joseph gets out of prison, becomes the viceroy. So Pharaoh gave him a new name, Sophanech Paner. And he also gave him Asnat, daughter of Potiphar. See it?
I don't, because it seems that chapter 41 is non-existent in this book.
Okay, but anyway, so he marries her daughter.
Okay, that's splendid.
Right?
Or as you would say, simply smash it. I'm sorry, I had to do that, Rabbi.
That's right.
I'm sorry, I had to do that, Rabbi.
So you see, right, as a great way of learning how to read the news. You have to be a little bit more subtle in how you read some of these stories that are coming out of the news.
Yeah, that's very true. It's a
Very
lesson
good.
for life.
That's right. Very good. Thank you, Jacob.
All right. Thank you, Rabbi. I'm sorry for making fun of your British heritage.
That's a love. Take care.
All
See you
right.
next
Bye,
week.
Rabbi.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.